Good morning. My name is Lynn Brewer, and I'm the president of the Florida Coalition Against Human Trafficking. And we're based out of Fort Myers, Florida, and we represent 5 counties in this area, which is Lee, Collier, Hendry, Glades, and Charlotte. Human trafficking is becoming an epidemic in our country as well as in the world. Human trafficking is the harboring or transportation of a human being by either coercion or force into human trafficking. Human trafficking is often a process that happens in many different ways. Normally there are 2 types of human traffickers. One is a Romeo and the other is an enforcer. And often teams will send their Romeos out. They will watch groups of girls and boys, and they already know how to pick out the weakest link. They will accidentally run into them, excuse themselves, introduce themselves. They will later follow them around and maybe run into them again, offer to buy the whole group a soda or a burger or something like that. They go, they sit down, and this person tells them everything that there is to know about her. Her name, her email, all of her contact information. Then he has a contact point. He calls, he becomes a boyfriend. This relationship goes into the point where she honestly feels that he loves her and he's the only one in the world for her. She starts leaving her friends. She leaves her family. She may even go with him just to find out that basically he's taking her to a home to be gang raped, to be videotaped. At that point, they then have something to hold over this person. Normally, the age group that they're looking at in Florida is between 9 and 14. At that point, they don't have the reasoning ability to understand that they're better off to go to an adult or go to someone to help them out of this situation. The trafficker then uses the video as a means to blackmail them into doing what they want them to do. There have been cases of trafficked human beings that actually still went to school, worked nights, went back home, got up and went back to school. There are cases where trafficked girls and boys are trafficked by their own relatives, their mother, their father, their step-parent, their grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters. So what people need to understand is that the traffickers are a very, very well-organized cartel situation. And according to even the law enforcement within our country and other countries, it is even worse than what happened with the drug cartels. So yes, human trafficking is a process. Less than 5% of people are actually kidnapped. And in order to be considered kidnapped, they have to take that human being out from the state that they're in. So most trafficking takes place within our own areas. Once the trafficked human being becomes a little more addicted to drugs, which they automatically put them on for a control issue, they then can move them around. As far as human trafficking is concerned, if a human trafficker has 3 human beings that he traffics, and the average price in our 5 counties is $35 per session, okay, they can make over $1 million a year tax-free. So human trafficking is very quickly starting to become the #1 crime, not only in our country but in the world today, simply because it is extremely profitable. It's all about the money. There are as many female traffickers as male traffickers. They move up in the ranks. They themselves may have been a trafficked human being And as the trafficker begins to trust them, they will move them up and they will make them sergeants and lieutenants, and then eventually they become a madam. Okay? So what you have to understand is that human trafficking is here today, it's in our community, and it is going to be affecting our youth, and is affecting our youth. Predators are not easy to spot. They look like everyone else. You can be sitting next to one at the restaurant and never ever have any clue. They are from all areas, races, religions, age groups, genders. There is no bounds to human trafficking or to human traffickers. Often I'm asked if we are doing enough to prevent human trafficking, and I don't know the answer to that question. In my mind, no, we're not. We need more education. Our children need to be educated on learning what to stay away from, what to be leery of. I think that people often feel that this is a very paradise area that we live in, and this does not happen. But please understand that Florida is number 3 in the United States for human trafficking, and Southwest Florida is number 1 within Florida. So, do I honestly feel that enough is being done? I do not. I would like to see more people become involved. I would like to see more people become educated and help protect our youth. They are our future.